Services Librarian at the Neeblaw Library, Wayne State University, Detroit, Michigan. Is a former head librarian of Delhi School of Economics, Chief University Librarian, University of Delhi. Is the director of the Purdy Library, Humanities and Social Sciences of Wayne State University. He was born in Srinagar, Kashmir. Has visited Valley frequently to stay in touch with the political developments in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. He's the president of the Kashmiri Overseas Associations, which has raised these thousands of dollars to send it to these victims. He's also very, very instrumental in putting this thing together. Matter of fact, was in Atlanta, Georgia, when we met him and his colleagues to put this symposium together so that we can all be educated exactly what's happening. Also is the General Secretary of the Indo-American Kashmir Forum. Please, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Professor P.L. Paul.
Thank you, Dr. Japra. The problem is that we have to manage the rest of the program in much shorter time than we had originally planned. So the speakers will be a little brief than they had planned to be, so that we are able to understand and participate in the program and finish according to the clock. That seems to have controlled our rest of the function. I would like to introduce with great personal pleasure and delight Professor K.N. Pandita, whom we are invited to come over from Jammu. He was born in Kashmir. He graduated from Punjab University and got his PhD in Iranian Studies from Tehran University in 1962. He taught and conducted research at the Central Asian Studies, University of Kashmir, in the field of history and culture of Persian, Tajik, Dari-speaking region, which are Iran, Afghanistan, Tajikistan, and Pamirian ranges. He has traveled widely in Central Asia and erstwhile Soviet Union in connection with his academic pursuits. He has won several academic awards, including Nehru Award for his work entitled My Tajik Friends, which has been translated into Russian. Himself a Kashmiri, Dr. Pandita has made in-depth study of history and culture of Kashmir. And among scores of research articles, monographs on Kashmir, he has only recently translated the first detailed medieval history of Kashmir from Persian into English with extremely valuable notes and introduction. For the last 3 years, that is after his retirement as Director of the Center of Central Asian Studies, Kashmir University, coinciding with the exodus of Kashmiri minority members from the valley, he has been associated in the English dailies of Jammu as a freelancer and has contributed immensely by disinterested analysis of various aspects of ongoing Kashmir situation. He is President of India's nominee to the Selection Committee of Aligarh Muslim University. He is also on the expert committee of Indian National Science Academy on medieval history. He has been invited by us to speak to us today on a topic of his choosing. So I would like Professor Pandita to come here and deliver his speech, and thereafter we'll be taking the other speakers one by one. Thank you. Professor Pandita. One by one. Thank you. Professor Pandita.
Mr. Chairperson, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I begin with my sincere thanks to Indo-American Kashmir Forum, which is functioning in collaboration with the Federation of Indo-American Associations of North California, for providing me a chance to come over and speak to you. I would like to restrain myself to the topic of the problems of suffering of the refugees now in Jammu, Udampur, other places of the region, and in Delhi. We have two problems. We have twofold problems. One is material, which I think I should not discuss. At this time, the more important one is psychology.
Now I request Professor Paul Reisberg, whom we have invited from East West Center, Hawaii. He is a fellow of Carnegie Endowment. He has done extensive research on Indian subcontinent. He was involved in various policy-making capacities, visiting India so many times that many of us have heard and read his writings, and he seems, it appears to me, he knows more about India than I do. And we are delighted and honored that he has agreed to come and address us, keeping in view what has already been said today, and we are looking forward to some of the suggestions he could offer to us, which may redress some of the grievances of the hurt community also. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Call. I'm going to try to be briefer than the time that I've generously been given on today, because I want to contribute both to the opportunity for you to ask questions and for my colleagues up here on the platform to say what they want to say. I also should apologize, because anyone who expects that I'm going to come up with any clear and unequivocal recommendations and conclusions on how to resolve the Kashmir conflict and the problems of human rights, the problems of minorities, the problems perceived by people on both sides of the subcontinent, I'm afraid are going to be mistaken. The positions of India and Pakistan on Kashmir have been embedded over the last 45 years in 3 wars, in political, historical, legal, and constitutional issues which go back much before that, as some of the commentators earlier today have said, as all of you, I'm sure, know. The domestic political sensitivities on the issue in both countries are intense. And we've also had a sense of that both from the comments of my preceding speaker, by the comments of Professor Maddock, and indeed by the noises that come through the walls over the last few hours from people with very different views outside, also American citizens, also protesting what is happening in Kashmir, but from a different point of view than many of you here in this room. The concerns of the people of Kashmir, Hindu and Muslim, on both sides of the border, however, I'm afraid have often lain at the periphery of the debate over what happens to the future of the state. And that indeed, I think, is one of the principal themes of our discussion today. I'm afraid that the process of resolving the conflict, of reaching a point where those who have been expelled or been forced to leave Kashmir will be able to go back, either those who have been forced out of the Vale back into other parts of India, to Jammu and to Delhi, or Kashmiris who I have met